Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I am driving this, the Honda Accord from I think 2010, the 8th gen model. Let's quickly open the engine bay. Now this is not the V6, okay? This is not the V6. This happens to be the 4-cylinder hydraulic struts, 2.4 liter DOHC VTEC written there, and that is the real magic because it gets a manual gearbox. Now this one is the manual gearbox version. Lights look really nice, double barrel lights, fog lights, front parking sensors as well. And yeah, the design is a little boxy. The one variant before that was a little slimmer. The one variant, not the variant, rather the generation before that, slimmer. But you know, Accord has just been bloating. I don't know what is it eating. I think it's having whey protein because with every passing generation, the Accord is just becoming bigger and bigger, and that really is robbing away the sportiness from this vehicle. It's getting softer. Twin exhausts are not here. They're only a single exhaust here. The lights look really nice as well. Understated elegance. Obviously, this car is very well maintained. The color looks dope on this vehicle. The wheels also look really nice. With the facelift, they made minor changes to the tail lights, minor changes to the headlights, and of course, they gave indicators on the outside rear view mirrors as well. And the grille got the chrome treatment too. Well, that was with the facelift. Not much mechanical changes as such on the facelifted model, but just look at the Accord. All right, it looks so beautiful. And I have to keep walking because this is a long car. Now let's quickly open the boot, which means pressing a button here, and the boot is open right away. So boot is decent size, I would say, and the spare wheel is not an alloy, it's a steel wheel here. So not much to talk about in terms of the boot space, but yes, the Accord is a massive car, which means there's massive amount of space in the rear. And as I get into the rear, let me tell you, there's so much space. Under thigh support is also good. Leg room is very good. Knee room is massive, and of course it gets a center armrest with controls for the audio system placed here, with some space to keep stuff here as well. You can access the boot, but you have to put the key inside here like that, and then only you can unlock it. Otherwise, you can't really access the boot otherwise. The seat has a recline angle. There are side airbags as well. Seat is very comfortable. There's an ashtray placement here. Door pockets are large enough. Wood treatment here. I mean, the cabin is really very nice. There's good amount of space, but only for 2 people because there's a big hump here, and you can push this behind, but this part of the seat is a little hard, although it gets 3 headrests here. So definitely Honda knows how to offer a good amount of comfort in its bigger cars, and this Accord really, you know, was a hot favorite in the Indian market. Door pockets are large enough at the front. These are the power window controls as well as the outside rear view mirror controls, and this is to open the boot as well as the fuel lid. Meanwhile, Accord plating written over here, the side garnish, dead pedal there. This is a manual, which is the best thing on earth ever. The space to keep stuff here. This is for the parking sensors. This is for the headlight leveler. This is to turn on the vehicle. It doesn't get push button start. It doesn't get keyless go, but it does get electric seat adjust. Yeah, you can adjust the lumbar as well. So electric seat adjust on the Accord. Even in those days, well, it's always been a loaded car. Like I told you earlier, front seats also very comfortable. It has this old vibe of American-ness somehow because obviously it's a very famous car in America. The front center armrest also has a lot of space, and there's space here as well along with the perk just in case you're hungry right now. Meanwhile, this is the gear lever. There is a 12-volt charging socket. There's a lot of space to keep stuff along with an ashtray here. The glove box is also decent sized, and the glove box can be locked as well. The dashboard looks really very nice as well. However, this particular variant seems to be missing out on audio controls, although they're the dumminess of the audio controls. 4-spoke steering wheel is massive in size somehow, and it doesn't get an auto dimming inside rear view mirror, but these are the lights of the vehicle, and there's a sunglass holder here too. There's space to keep your toll receipts. There's a mirror here along with a light. Same is the case there as well. Mirror along with a light. This car's condition is absolutely phenomenal. So a big clap for the owner of this vehicle to keep this car in such a mint condition. And as you can see, the dashboard design is really nice. Wood, beige treatment, and whatnot colors used on this car. The most interesting bit though is the fact that the center console seems very busy. These are the controls for the audio system. These are the controls for the air conditioning. This is the hazard light switch, and this is actually for the audio system again. Meanwhile, let me turn on the vehicle, and as I turn it on, it comes to life, making sound. It will tell you exactly which door is open as well. Everything seems very basic. There's no digital display as such. However, by pressing this button, I can go through various functions like what is the temperature right now, trip B, trip A, and the odometer as well. That's about it. On the right, we have a speedometer marked all the way till 260 kilometers per hour. I like the optimism at Honda's design department for the interior and the instrument cluster. On the rightmost, we get the fuel meter. On the leftmost, we get the temperature meter, and here is the tachometer of this vehicle. Steering feels so freaking heavy. There's a display here for the audio system, and the display is also for the air conditioning, and it looks like a very dated display because obviously it shows only black and white colors. It's not a color display, and obviously it doesn't get a touchscreen either. These are the controls for the wipers. These are the controls for the headlights. Let's use the wipers right away. Wipers work really well, dual blade wipers obviously, and the horn is also very nice on this vehicle. So let's quickly get into reverse. But when I get into reverse, there's a sound which beeps, which is for the reverse parking sensors. It doesn't get a reverse parking camera. Obviously, it doesn't get a sunroof either, but it got a sunroof with the facelift. This particular model, the pre-facelift, actually got a sunroof in the V6 variant. Meanwhile, these are the lights, which seem too Maruti for my liking. Right now, they're not working either. Meanwhile, there's a handle here, there's a handle there, there's a light here as well, and that light is working. There's a light here as well, which has lost its cover somehow, and the seat belts are also height adjustable. I mean, a car from 2009 having all these features is such a great thing. Just imagine how expensive cars are getting so many features somehow. Anyways, everything feels nice and premium inside this cabin. But how is it to drive? Is it a boat, or will the manual gearbox give it the VTEC kicked in your feeling? Well, let's find out. Into first gear, revving the motor, revs till almost 4000 rpm, and off it goes. So much wheel spin on offer, and it goes all the way till 7000 rpm. Although the clutch is on the harder side, the gear shifts are not smooth, so right now I had to really push the gear lever right into second gear. But there's so much punch on offer, and trust me, VTEC kicks in at 5000 rpm and pulls this vehicle all the way to 7000 rpm. This engine is an absolute sensation. Now, this is a 2.4 liter iVTEC DOHC motor, which produces 178 horsepower and 222 newton meters of torque. It feels so freaking alive, redlining at 7000 rpm. The VTEC madness is definitely there in the Accord. So how do you have VTEC madness? It's very simple. As long as a Honda car with a VTEC engine has a manual gearbox, it will kick in the VTEC. And you can see around the corners, it feels kind of a handful because of the long length of the car, and of course the weight. The ground clearance isn't much at 155 mm. However, get into first gear and get into the throttle, it responds like typical Honda motor. I mean, the tachometer is always ahead of the speedometer. Tachometer is in a mind of its own. It will just keep going. It doesn't care whether those wheels have caught up or not, or the engine is caught up. It will just keep spinning and spinning and spinning. There's just great amount of performance on offer. Absolutely sensational. Get hard onto the gas, and the mill absolutely pulls. Okay, steering doesn't have much feel as such because the steering doesn't really weigh up as such, but it is on the heavier side at lower speeds. But around the corners, it remains composed for a vehicle which is so freaking long and weighs more than 1500 kgs. An absolute delight to, sit in this vehicle because the ride quality is very good. The suspension is on the softer side. However, bad bumps do catch this vehicle out. In terms of braking performance, the brakes are good, but some amount of nosedive and tire screeching as well. Obviously, all Honda cars are under tired in the interest of fuel economy. This one returns a fuel economy of just 7 kilometers per liter. Now, this particular car is the pre-facelift. There's another engine which is on offer, revving the motor, revs till almost 4000 rpm, and wheel spin is massive. It keeps wheel spinning. First gear 60 kilometers per hour, but the gearbox isn't the smoothest, so getting to second can be a task. Goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 10 seconds. Performance is absolutely breathtaking, and the Accord is actually a fun car to drive unless and until you come to a corner like this, and then you realize there's a lot of roll on offer. Although the steering does offer feel and feedback, but there's just too much roll because of the soft suspension and of course the long length of this vehicle. Now, this car offers great amount of performance. Obviously, a Honda VTEC, if it doesn't offer performance, then what will it do? And how's the performance? Well, lower down, it isn't that throaty, or rather it doesn't have much punch lower down, but in typical Honda fashion, the more you rev it, the more it rewards you. So as soon as you get in the mid-range, you get a lot more punch, and as you get into the red line, and rather as you get into the top end, VTEC definitely kicks in hard and strong and offers a lot of punch. I mean, this engine is such a sweet motor. It sounds sweet, it goes like a bomb, it goes like an absolute rocket ship in spite of the weight, in spite of the length, in spite of everything else, the softness, but still this motor will pull. Now, I'm picking it up from second gear right now, and look, hard on the throttle now. Okay, VTEC wakes up. Now the VTEC wakes up and absolutely thrusts it ahead. That's the level of grunt on offer. And in terms of overall feel, I would say the Accord does look splendid. But more than looking splendid, it is the fact that it gives a very premium feel and a lot of comfort as well. It's not about driving it fast, it's all about the comfort which it offers, and that's what this 8th generation Accord did very well. In fact, the facelift of this particular vehicle came in later. The gearbox could have been slicker. It is a 5-speed gearbox. Meanwhile, there was another engine which happened to be the 3.5 liter V6, which used to produce around 275 horsepower, but that came made it to an automatic gearbox, and Honda plus automatic is robbing away the VTEC feeling. Now, this 2.4 liter iVTEC motor was available with both a 5-speed manual as well as a 5-speed automatic gearbox, and obviously the manual is the choice for enthusiasts because it obviously offers a lot more grunt. At that time, the pricing was close to 30 lakh rupees, but the Accord was extremely famous and extremely popular for offering a lot of comfort, great reliability, and definitely massive performance as well. Only issue for the Accord, and the reason why the Accord had to eventually leave the Indian market, or rather not being sold much, okay, into first gear there, VTEC kicks in, yo, absolutely pulls hard and strong. The reason the Accord could not maintain its sales was the fact that it was a fuel guzzler and there was no diesel engine on offer. The Superb came with a diesel engine. Your front tire doesn't have air. Really? And that's what made it so popular in the Indian market. So guys, this is my review of the Honda Accord, the 8th gen. My goodness, what a car. Lovely. I think I should get one second hand and go absolutely crazy modifying it. Like this video, thumbs up de dena. Bye bye.